so let's talk about Warner Brothers. You had Larry Ellison coming out with his personal guarantee of $40 billion for the Paramount Skydance hostile bid, that is. Do you think that that goes far enough to address some of the Warner Brothers board's concerns about financing?
So it's great to be here. Happy holidays. But this is really going to be a gift for the Ellisons, because if you think about what they are doing, they are truly amassing one of the biggest and most important collection of media assets in record time. And, whether $30 a share is going to be enough, I think they're going to have to sweeten the deal. But I think you need to look at this from a larger vantage point, because if you really look at the assets that they're starting to consolidate, it really is concerning on the one hand, exciting on the other. But when you think about Paramount combined with, potentially TikTok, obviously Warner Brothers Discovery, you just look at all the different pieces of this puzzle, we're really seeing the reshaping of the American media landscape right before our eyes.
Well, let's talk through some of the concerns here. As you said, it's exciting, but there's also concerns. In highest order, what would you say tops the list?
I mean, one is just really trying to understand what really is going to be the governance implications of this.
Right.
When you think about the amount of data that they are now going to have to be able to train all of their AI. Again, this is not just a media company. Obviously, Larry Ellison with Oracle, understanding the TikTok angle, this is really connecting the dots, and all of these AI companies are desperate for more data to train their models. And so when you really look at this, this is a truly incredible opportunity to consolidate data all under this massive umbrella, which is really going to be Skydance, Paramount, and Oracle.
Interesting. So you're saying that Oracle, if we actually see Paramount Skydance be able to win the Warner Brothers Discovery bidding war, that Oracle might then potentially use their content library for training for their models.
I mean, again, you have 100% control over Paramount. What's to say, what is the control going to look like, for Warner Brothers Discovery once it's under that umbrella? You're just going to have a lot of ability to kind of blur the lines and just really see who is going to be able to have some type of guardrails, governance, guidelines around all of this. And I think that that's something that shareholders need to look into. Obviously, you want to have, your fiduciary responsibilities as a shareholder, but certainly the board is going to have to make some really tough decisions. And I think there's a really interesting reason why the board has actually rejected the Ellisons repeatedly until they had to go public with this hostile takeover.
Yeah, it is a fascinating situation where you have the Warner Brothers board saying that, we recommend the Netflix offer. At the same time, you have Paramount basically going directly to the shareholders with this tender offer. I mean, what do you make of it? How do you see the investor base actually swaying here when it comes to what the board is saying and what Paramount is saying?
I mean, look, the truth of the matter is you have a very diluted shareholder base. Obviously, you're going to have the large institutional investors, the BlackRocks, Vanguard, State Street, really controlling a lot of the shareholder count. But when you really think about where investors are going to be, they're going to really vote for what is going to be the best return for them. And so I think you really are going to see Netflix really trying to have to up the ante. They obviously have a very clean, kind of approach. They have a very clean deal, obviously have a better credit rating. When you think about what the levered company is going to look like combined with Paramount as well as Warner Brothers Discovery, I think it's going to be north of maybe 6-7 times, debt to EBITDA. So just from a capital perspective, it's going to be an extremely levered asset, but that's part of the reason why Larry Ellison is doing the personal guarantee.
And Stephen, we have less than a minute here left with you, but when you look into your crystal ball, how long do you think this saga will continue? How long will it take to actually get a conclusion here?
I mean, obviously, they pushed out the shareholder vote down to January 21st. And then you're going to have, obviously, all of the regulatory, kind of theater that you're going to have to go through. But I feel like this is just the beginning, because this is now the reshaping of American media. And when you really understand what is happening, this is a data play. And when you really connect the dots, this is truly going to reshape the way that all the AI companies are going to be able to have access to data, who is controlling that,
right,
and what are the governance guardrails around it.